You're going to need one of the 8-inch wreath forms that you can get from Dollar Tree. These come in a 2-pack. Then you're also going to need 5 packages of the decorative mesh. Now this is the decorative mesh that has the snow on it. This is the red color. This is only 3 yards. A regular roll of deco mesh from Dollar Tree is 5 yards. So that's why you're going to need 5 rolls of this. If you don't want to use the decorative mesh with the snow on it, then you can get away with 3 rolls of the Dollar Tree, like the red deco mesh. Okay? You're also going to need a package of pipe cleaners cut in half. But you just want to go ahead and cut your pieces at 6 inches. And then to make your bundles, you will need 3 pieces per bundle. And then you just want to go through and lightly roll it up. You want it about the size of a fat cigar or the size of a quarter. Now I really like this deco mesh. It has more of a tulle feel, but it's thicker, and then it has the snow on it. The reason why I like working with it is because it does not fray. Okay, so you have 3 rolls in your hand. Go ahead and wrap your pipe cleaner around the center. Adjust it. And you want to pull it nice and tight. Pinch and twist. And that's what your little bundle looks like. Now it is a little sticky with the snow on there, so once you get these all on, you will need to go through and fluff it a little bit and pull them apart. But that's what your little bundle is going to look like. Now when you attach it onto your wreath, you want to attach it to the 2 bars on the outside. So the outside bar and the center bar. And you just take that and you go ahead and you wrap that around. Pull it to the back and give it a good twist. Pull those ends together, and then I push them back through and up. Give it a little pinch so they stay forward and move it over. Now you're not going to see that even from the front once you get everything in there, so it doesn't matter. You can use whatever color you have. That doesn't matter either. And each section, you have 3 sections on this wreath. In between each crossbar is a section. You'll want to put 10 bundles. That'll give you a really nice full wreath. Okay, I have my base all done. I did go ahead and do 10 bundles per section. And see how clean the back looks by pushing those ends back up. Sometimes they'll try to come forward again. Just pull them over and stick them back down. But you have a much cleaner back. And then in the front, to fluff this, because it has the snow on there, it does like to stick to itself. So you want to make sure that you pull some on the inside, some on the outside, and then the rest kind of up. And you're just looking at your overall shape. You want to make sure that everything is filled in and that it's nice and even all the way around. Okay? You're also going to need a package of these decor pieces that you can find at Dollar Tree. This is the heart that I'm going to be using. It says, "I picked you." And I'm going to go ahead and use some floral wire and restring it through the hole to help attach it. And then I'm also going to take a pipe cleaner and hot glue it to the back. So one came through the hole and one came over the top. And these 2 wires I will use to attach it to the wreath. I'm also going to attach a pipe cleaner down here at the bottom. Okay, my glue is nice and set. I'm going to go ahead and place my heart. Now on this one, I want to place it right here on the side and a little low. So it's kind of on the lower end. And to do that, all you have to do is take the pipe cleaners and the floral wire. Go ahead and separate your mesh until you can get down to the wreath form, and you just attach it to the wreath form. Okay, my sign is on. It's nice and secure. It's not going to go anywhere. Then you just want to go around and kind of refluff your wreath right around where your sign is until you like it. Now we're going to go ahead and make a couple bows to go into our wreath. And I've chosen these 5 small ribbons. These are all 5/8 of an inch, and they all came from Dollar Tree. You're going to want to go ahead and cut your ribbon at about 9 inches. And when I cut my ribbon, I like to cut it at an angle. And you will need 1 piece for each bundle, and we will be making 4 bundles. And to make each bundle, this is what I call my messy bow. You just go ahead and layer them. Have one straight and then crisscross. You just want to try to make sure you get them in the middle. It looks like that, and then take your pipe cleaner that's cut in half, wrap it around the middle. Pull it nice and tight right at the base and twist. And there's your messy bow. And you'll need 4 of these. So I have all my bundles made, and I'm going to go ahead and add them to the wreath. And same thing, just decide where you want to place them. Go ahead and separate out the mesh till you can get down to the bar. And then go ahead and attach it to one of the bars in the wreath form. Okay, I got all my bows in. I'm so happy. I think they look so pretty. I really like the messy bow look. So I put one directly above the heart, and then one across from that, and then one on either corner. Okay. Now to finish decorating this, I pulled this out. Now this is a package of heart picks. You get 7 pieces. This one says love, and then you get 3 hearts down near the bottom there. And I liked this color. I thought it was the closest pink to that. So that's why I pulled those out. And then I pulled out some glittered vase filler. Now I'm probably not going to be using the red, but I thought I might use the white. And then I also pulled these out. It's a 24 pack, and these are glittered foam hearts. And I thought these are perfect. They're the same glitter red that's on the sign. Okay, so I got the love glued in. I just added some hot glue to the stem and glued it into the mesh, and then I did glue them to each other so that they wouldn't turn. Now I'm going to go ahead and add those 3 hearts that came with the love, and I'm going to attach it the same way. Just add some hot glue along the stem here. And then you want to go ahead and feed it into your mesh. Now you don't want to put it right down in the center of one of the tubes. You want to put it in between 2 of them. It will glue down much better that way. Okay, so I got those in. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some of the red hearts and some of the white vase fillers. So I got all my hearts glued in and my little white vase fillers. I'm going to need one of these metal wreath forms, heart-shaped, from the Dollar Tree. Then you're also going to need an assortment of roses. I picked up several packages and bunches of roses here. I also have this large arrangement that I made last year that I decided that I don't like anymore, so I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to use the roses. I want to stick with the pinks and the darker pinks. I might add a few white, but I'm not going to use any of the yellow. And some gypso or maybe some baby's breath. Now I'm going to go ahead and prep my roses here. I'm going to take off the stem. I'm going to use the leaves on several of the flowers. So the ones that I'm going to do that, if you pull it apart, there's this little plastic piece on the end. You want to pull that off. And then on the flower, go ahead and just add a little bit of hot glue and glue those back on. That just makes this much flatter and easier for you to work with. Okay? So I pulled out several different flowers in the colors that I want to use. The one, as I go along, the ones that I want to keep the leaves on, I'm going to. Otherwise, you can either cut or sometimes they just easily pull off. And just cut it at the base so you just have the flower to deal with. Okay? And then it's very simple. We're going to go ahead and glue the flowers directly to the wire frame. And I'm going to start right here where it dips down. Now because I want to make sure I keep this shape, I'm going to use some of the smaller flowers in this area because I want to make sure that I keep that shape. And then as I come up here, I'm going to add in some of the larger flowers in the curve so it'll accentuate that. I want to make sure I keep that heart shape. And it's very simple. Just go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue on either side of the metal bars here. And then you're going to place your rose right in there. Very simple to attach. Then you just go ahead and do your arranging however you like. Like I said, you can do a nice mix of colors or a single color, whichever you like. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just placing the roses right inside the two bars, and I'm just putting a dab of glue on either side and then placing the rose over it. Now by using the two smaller roses here, you can tell I've already kept that indentation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fill in my roses. Okay, so I have the whole wreath covered. I'm very happy with the way it came out. Now on this side, I went ahead and added a couple more roses around this area. You can see the difference. So I'm going to show you how I attached those to the other side. The first one that I attached was one of the smaller roses, and I attached it where the two bars first meet right here. Okay? Now all of the ones that I put on the outside and several of the ones I did on the inside, I did attach the leaves. I really do like having the greenery in there. Okay, so again, just put some glue around the base. And then where the two bars meet from the outside, you just want to kind of push it in and hold it till that glue sets. Okay, so we just put that one in. We're going to put another one next to it. And so what I did basically was in between where the two roses are, that's where I stuck it in from the outside. I'm going to put this one in next. Just go ahead and add the glue around the base. And go ahead and feed it in between the two roses, and you want to make sure that you're kind of angling it up and out. You can also glue it to the roses that it's next to. See how it's nicely starting to fill that in? See how much more that fills in the round? Just makes that heart accentuated just a little bit more. So I've decided I'm just going to go in and add some of the gypso. Now the gypso to me looks like what real baby's breath looks like. I also have kept all of the leaves from the roses that I did not use in case I want to add some of the leaves as well. It's very simple to add these. You just want to make sure you leave a stem on there. Put a little bit of glue on the stem. Kind of move the flowers to the side and then feed it in wherever you want them. You can put in as much or as little as you like. Okay, it's all done. You're going to need 2 of these styrofoam hearts from Dollar Tree. Now the ones that I picked up this year had this little heart hanging down in the middle, so I just pulled it out. And then you can use these on this if you want, or you can use them on another project. So I just pulled out the ribbon. Now to fix this, when you pull it out, you get a little bit of a hole there from the white foam. You can either use like a red Sharpie, red paint, or what I find works very well is a red glitter glue that I got from Dollar Tree. So you just go in and cover up that spot with the glitter glue. You do need to give it time to dry. And then when it dries, you can't even tell there was a hole there. I had put some right here where I pulled it out. Okay, so on this one I pulled the heart out and I also pulled the hanger out and I filled both holes with the glitter. And then on this one I'm going to use the hanger to hang it, so I only pulled out the heart. Now that you have your hearts prepared, we're going to be attaching them. You need to decide how you want to attach them. I'm going to be putting the 2 together like this. Now remember, it's going to be hanging with this heart being straight, so keep that in mind when you're attaching it. And to attach it, I'm going to start with just some hot glue. Now this is styrofoam. If your glue is really hot, it could melt the foam. Now to help keep that together, I'm going to use a piece of the ribbon that I'm going to make the bow with, and this is the ribbon I'm going to use. Okay, so then you just want to take this, we're going to wrap it around that same section to the back. And then we're going to glue it down and then glue it to itself. So put some glue down, lay down your ribbon. Pull that a little snug. Wrap it around. If it's too long, fold the end down. And then hot glue it down. This is just going to help keep it secure together so it doesn't fall apart. It's just a little hot glue won't be enough. You need a little bit more to work with it. Okay, So this is what you should have so far. So now we're going to go ahead and make the bow. Now you're going to need one full length pipe cleaner. And I'm going to do 2 ribbons in my bow. So this one, like I said, I got it at Dollar Tree last year. And then I also picked this one up, and this is so pretty. It's solid red, but it's sheer and it has glittered hearts on it, which I think is perfect. So you're going to want to go ahead and cut one piece at about 11 inches. So you have this roll, you're going to layer it on top of your second. And then you need one more piece to go there. Okay, so that's how you're going to start. You have one ribbon, and then your second ribbon, and a piece of your second ribbon. Take that and fold it over. Now, as you work with this, you're going to work with these 2 layered. So it'll be really fluffy when you fluff it out. Okay, so go ahead and fold that in half, where the piece that you cut underneath is folded in half. And you want to go ahead and scrunch together, just like that. Okay, now this is going to be your center of your ribbon, of your bow. So you'll have this, and then you'll have this pattern, one on either side. That's why there's 2 in there. Okay. And go ahead and keep that together. You want to bring it up. You want to give yourself another loop. And then you scrunch everything in at the base. Okay. Go to the other side and do the same thing. If you have to twist your ribbon a little bit so that the right size is showing, go ahead and do that. And make sure your loops are the size and that they're even. Okay, so I have one in the middle, one on either side, and now I'm going to do one on this side and one on this side. Go ahead and cut your ribbon. And you want to take that pipe cleaner, you're going to wrap it around twice. Then you want to pull it really tight and twist. Okay, so you gotta, everything's folded in at the bottom, and then you have your loops on top. Now you want to go ahead and add some tails. I don't want my tails to be too long, but I do want them to show out. I'm going to kind of measure the width of the bow and go a little wider than that, and then cut my tails. Then fold those in half so you can find the center. Scrunch the center. And then go ahead and attach it where your pipe cleaners are. So put it in between the 2 pipe cleaners, pull those tight and twist. Okay, so then you can go ahead and fluff on the center here, you'll pull one of the red to one side and then the other one out the other side. And then just go through and separate the two. Make sure you pull it out on the correct side so it's every other one. Okay, so there it is. It's all nice and open. So just go ahead and play with your bow until you get it the way that you like it. Now this bow has, you know, quite a bit of excess back here, but I'm going to use that to help attach it. So I'm going to slide that right here in between these two. And I'm going to add hot glue and then slide it in. Just kind of push it right on up in between there with the hot glue. Make sure my tails are pulled down. And for right now, I'm just going to push down the ends here. Once I'm done, I'll go back, I'll put another piece of ribbon and glue it over the back there. But for right now, I want to make sure that I get it secured. Okay, now by hanging it from the top this way, it's not going to hang straight because it's too heavy on one side. So I'm going to add some weight right up here. And I'm going to be using these. They're called heart picks. And you get 7 in a package. You get 3 hearts, and then you get the word love. So I'm going to use the word love to put right up here. So kind of lay it down and see how long you need to leave your pick, which is about 1 inch. And then go ahead and cut it. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that kind of right where the curve is on the heart. So I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to the stem before I push it in. And then it just pushes right on into the foam. You want to hold it for a little bit because some of the glue will ooze out and you want to use that to attach it. Okay, so as I was pushing the O in, the pick came in up through the O instead of going in. So I'm just using a craft stick to push that back down. And then if any of them touch, go ahead and hit just a dab of glue in between where they touch. Okay, so I have my love in. Okay, to finish decorating, I'm going to be using the 3 other glitter hearts that came with the love. And then I've also picked up this, it's just called a bouquet, and it has white glittery styrofoam hearts. I'm not going to be using the leaves, I'm only going to be using the hearts. Now on these white hearts, I don't really like this green stem because some of it might show. So I'm going to pull that out, and then the little red sticks that I have left over from the love, I'm going to go ahead and glue those in. That way if any of this shows, it's going to be red and it'll blend in. So just a dab of hot glue and then place the stick in and allow it to dry. Now we're going to go ahead and add our little foam hearts. So I like that. I'm going to go ahead and glue those in. And again, just add some hot glue to the stick. Lift up your bow and feed it down behind the bow. And then I'm going to place some more here on this side. And I'm going to do the same thing. Feed it in till I get it where I want it, and then glue it in. I got all my hearts placed. I did decide to go ahead and add 3 more down here. I just felt like it was uneven without these here. So I did end up using 2 stems of the white hearts and just the one package that had the 3 red glitter hearts and the love. Okay, you're going to need one of these forms. This is the pumpkin with the witch's hat. I picked up several of these. I really like this form. You can use it to make several projects. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove all of the tinsel. Okay, so I got all my tinsel off my frame. You can go ahead and set that aside. You're also going to need a kitchen towel. This is red and white check. This is what I'm going to use as his hat. And then you're also going to need a mop head. This is one of the cotton mop heads that you can get from Dollar Tree. So you'll need one of those. So we're going to work on the beard first. Now these strands pull out relatively easy. You just grab one and pull and it comes out. So you're going to want to pull all of those out. And then we're going to put beard on these 2 and possibly 3 rows, depending how thick you want your beard. And I'm going to cut these in half. And then to attach them, relatively simple. You just fold them in half, put it around the bar there, and then you want to pull it through the loop and pull down. So it looks like that. Okay, I'll show you again. So fold it in half. Then you want to take the loop, put it underneath and pull it up on the other side, and then feed the ends through. And then pull down. You got my mop all attached. Now the first 2 rows I cut them in half and attached them. And then this final row, these sections, I did leave them the full length because I wanted the beard to be long. And then on the side, I just did 2 short ones on either side. And then right here where these bars are, I did 1 on each of the bars just on the top to help cover it. Now you are going to want to keep 2 full strips out. This is what's going to be used to make the mustache. So go ahead and cut those in half. And then you're going to need a zip tie. See, so it's right in the middle there. And you can trim off the excess. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and open up your mop. Just pull the strands apart. This will make it look much fuller and nicer. It'll look more like hair rather than a mop head. Okay, so I got my beard all unraveled, and now I'm working on cutting the shape. So I've just kind of pulled everything out, and now I'm kind of trimming to the shape that I want. I'm just taking my time, cutting a little bit at a time. Okay, so I'm happy with my beard. And this is the mustache. It came out really cute. So the next step that I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the hat. So you want to go ahead and roll up about a good inch. And then just hit just a few little dots of hot glue so that that will hold. And then we're going to fold it up one more time. We want that brim to be nice and thick. And then on this one you can do a few more drops of hot glue. Okay, so that's how you want it to look. You want a good inch, that could even be an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, however thick you want your rim. Set that aside to dry. Okay, so you're also going to need a piece of the thick floral wire that you can get at Dollar Tree. This comes in a small spool. Now this is optional. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I want to extend the tip here on the hat, and I like the wire because it allows me then to adjust how I want that tip to lay. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to wrap it around each side. Okay, so you can see I have it nice and secure. So I'm going to take this side and attach it to this side. Once that's done, then we can adjust the wire however you like it. I have it secure, it's not going to go anywhere. And I've shaped it into the shape that I want. I tried to follow this curve the best I could to a point and then back. You also want to make sure that you leave on your little hanger. This is what you are going to use to hang it with. If you took it off, go ahead and either put a jute cord or something else there to hang it. Now the hat needs to come down and cover that top portion. And we're going to hot glue this to the back. And you want to make sure you glue the other side down. You don't want to pull too tight because we still need to stick the nose under there. You want to make sure that you're gluing it in approximately the same position. And you just want to slowly work your way up and pull that in. And probably fold it down a little bit. When you get up to the top here where the hanger is, on the back side, cut just a small tiny hole so you can pull that through. Okay, if there's too much fabric there for you to work with, you can always trim some off. But I find if I just keep kind of folding it in, I can get it to glue down, and then that also helps me from not hurting myself as I'm trying to glue it down. Okay, now that I'm getting up here to the top, I've glued both sides up to here. I have a lot of fabric, so I'm going to get rid of some of this fabric. I removed quite a bit of fabric. So now I'm going to continue to fold in and work my way up. Okay, so this is the front. So you can see I have a lot of excess fabric on the back here, but I like this here. And I haven't glued the tip, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this part off and get rid of that excess fabric. Okay, then I'm going to fold in that cut part and glue it down in the back. You can't see it. Okay, so now I have a nice clean tip. This is the front. And this does bend now, so if I want to bring that down more. Okay, for the tip of the hat, I'm going to use one of the yarn pom-poms that comes in the yarn kit to make these little bunnies. These come in pink or white. Of course, I want white. Now, they have a large one and a small one. And I think I'm going to go with the small one for the tip of the hat. So to attach it, just move the yarn over till you can get down to the center there. Hit that with some hot glue and then place it on the end of your hat. Now for his nose, I'm going to use one of these floral foams that I picked up from Dollar Tree. Now these are 4 in a pack. They are 1.9 inches in diameter. Now I've tried painting these before and they will take paint, but they still look very textured. So I decided to try something a little different. And I have an old knee-high here. And I'm going to push my little styrofoam ball down into. And then I want to pull that really tight. And then you want to go ahead and twist that down. Then you can attach it with either some floral wire or a pipe cleaner. I'm just going to use some floral wire and I'm going to wrap it around the base there while I'm still holding it tight a couple times. There you go. Go ahead and cut off the excess. And then I want to go ahead and place my nose. I'm going to kind of open that up a little bit. See how much of his nose I want covered. Okay. I think that looks good, so I'm going to glue him down. Put hot glue right on the end there. Okay. And I'm also going to go ahead and glue down on the the sides. Just add a little bit of hot glue and hold it down. Okay, so I also played with the hat a little bit. I did a little bit more tucking and gluing in the back. And I'm happy with his beard. So now we're going to go ahead and attach the mustache. And of course, we're going to put it right underneath the nose there. Okay, and there you go. His mustache is on there. And now we're going to go ahead and decorate the hat here. Now I picked this up from the 99-cent store. And the reason why I'm using this one is because I don't have any from the Dollar Tree that has the red beads. Dollar Tree sells little rounds of these as well. They do come in several different colors depending on what time of year. And if I remember correctly, I do think they did have these for Valentine's Day. So you can use whatever color you like. I wanted the red and the green, so I'm going to be using this one. So I found the end. I want to turn it over and attach it down here. I've wrapped it around the bar and I'm just going to do kind of a twisty. Okay, so I have it nice and attached. And then I'm just going to loosely wrap this around the hat until I get up to the very top. I just want to add a little bit of more color and texture to the hat. Now if you don't have this or you can't find this, you can always do this with some of the jute cord or maybe some small ribbon that matches, or you can not do this at all. Whatever you like. And I'm just going to hot glue that down. Okay, so I cut a small piece of ribbon and I'm going to hot glue that just over the end here where I have the glue. Okay, so I am happy with that. I am going to tack this down just a little bit back here with some hot glue too, so that they don't move. Just put little drops of hot glue where the wire comes over. You don't need a lot, just a little to make sure it doesn't move on you. Now when we're all finished, if you don't like the back like this and you want to make it look nice and clean, you can either take a piece of white felt and cut it to the shape to glue over the back, or you can buy a second hand towel and use that to cover up this section of the back. And just cut the shape out. If you're using the towel, you're going to want to fold the ends over so that it doesn't unravel. And then just run a bead of glue around the edge and glue it on. And then you'll have a nice clean back. So next, you're going to need some of the do-it-yourself wood stickers that you can get from Dollar Tree. Now these all came out of the same package. So I have one large red glitter and two small red glitter. And then I have this little glittered heart with an arrow through it and then a plain heart. So I glued that on. And on the back of these, they have a little sticker. I removed all of those. They don't seem to hold real well, so I prefer to use hot glue. So I'm going to start by placing the large one here on the brim of the hat. He is a Valentine's Day gnome, so he needs to look the part. And then I'm going to place these two here on the hat. Very cute. Okay, now I want to work here onto the tip of the hat where the pom-pom is. I want to add a little bit of ribbon, and then I'm going to glue this heart over that. So I pulled out these 3 ribbons. So I have some red and white check, XO, XO, and heart, and some glitter red. Now I don't need it to be very long, so I'm only going to cut it, let's see, at about 4 inches. So go ahead and cut 1 piece of each of your ribbons at 4 inches. Okay, so I have 3 pieces of ribbon cut at about 4 inches. Now on my small ribbon, I like to angle the ends. So then you just want to go ahead and place the 3 together in the middle in a crisscross like this. Then you're also going to need a small piece of floral wire. You want to take that and go ahead and wrap that around the center. That looks like that. And we're going to glue that right above the pom-pom on the hat. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this guy right over the top on the bottom. Okay, so I got my little pom-pom all decorated. I'm really happy with that. I really like how the hat came out. Now I felt like it needed a little bit of red down here, so I decided to glue 2 of these little red hearts. And they come in a package of 24 from Dollar Tree. They're little foam glittered hearts. To get started on today's project, you're going to need one of these wired heart-shaped wreath forms that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. And then you're also going to need some chunky chenille yarn. This I picked up from Walmart. It was, I believe, like $6.97 for a skew. And I have this left over from a previous project. So 1 skew gives you quite a bit of yarn. You'll want to cut a piece off so that it's workable, because we're going to be wrapping the center ring here all the way around our heart. We're going to start down here at the point. Just going to use a little bit of hot glue to attach this to my frame. Now this is why you want to cut a shorter piece. It makes it easier for you to work with, because you're going to feed it around the center ring and slowly wrap those 2 rings with your yarn. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list with all the tools and materials I used to complete this Valentine's Day wreath. Now if the yarn keeps sliding, just add a small amount of hot glue to keep it in place. You want to make sure that you cover your frame and that you do not see it peeking out underneath your yarn. Okay, so I started right in the center, and I'm going to come on this side. Now I'll do this side of the center when I come back around. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to wrap my heart. When I get up here, I'll come back and show you how to handle the curved part on your heart. And there you go. I have covered this bottom section. I can't see the wire frame. I'm really happy with that. Now that I'm working on my curve, what you'll want to do is on the first one, you want to wrap all the way around both the 2 wires like you've been doing. And then the next one you want to wrap around just this center wire. And then the next time, wrap around both. This curve is larger than the inner curve, so you need a little bit more yarn around the outer curve to fill it in properly. Otherwise, what happens is you get too much bunching of your yarn on the lower curve trying to cover everything through the top. So if you do wrap around both wires, then wrap around the outer wire or the center wire here, and then wrap around both wires, the center wire, wrap around both wires, the center wire, from this crossbar to this crossbar on both curves. It will cover those curves perfectly, and you won't get any bunching around this inner curve here. Okay? So again, I'll show you. Go around both wires like you've been doing. Then the next one, you only go around the center wire. Okay. And then around both wires again. That way you get a nice even coverage, and you will not be able to see it, and you will not get any bunching. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping the inside of my wreath frame, and then I'll come back and we will move forward. I have the center of my wreath wrapped with my chunky chenille yarn. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you're unable to find any of the white chenille chunky yarn, you can always use the white nautical rope that Dollar Tree sells, or you can always use twine. If you use something small like the twine or the jute cord, it will take you a very long time to wrap the center, but that's always an option if you can't find anything like this. You can also use regular yarn, but if you go with something that's kind of thick and chunky, it won't take you so long, and it'll still look really good, plus it'll help hide everything in the back. We're going to move on to the ribbon. Now, I just purchased this huge roll. This is 2.5 inches by 50 feet of this really pretty red velvet ribbon. I got this on clearance at Michael's out of their Christmas section. I went in because I didn't have any solid red ribbon for this project. And I went into the Valentine's Day section. They had nothing. I went into the regular ribbon section and they had nothing. I felt so defeated, and then I walked around the corner and they had a huge wall of tons of this ribbon, anywhere from 2.5 inches up to 6 inches. This huge roll only cost me $2.49. Okay, so you're going to need a 2.5 inch red ribbon, whichever you have. You will want to cut them into 6 inch strips. Take your ribbon and fold it in half. Fold it in half again, and then dovetail. Now you want to start on the inside of the ribbon. And I only come up about 1/2 inch, and then you cut at an angle down to the edge where the wire is. That'll give you a nice even dovetail on both ends. Then you want to take this and you scrunch it in the center. Then pull both of the sides together and pinch it in the middle. I add just a teeny bit of hot glue right in the center to help hold that. So it looks like that. Take your wreath and turn it over. And then we're going to be hot gluing these onto the back, just like that. Right at the base here on the front, you want to make sure that the nice side of your ribbon, if your ribbon only has one nice side, is facing forward. Just continue to work all the way around your wreath until you get it filled in with your red ribbon. As you can see, I'm making good progress at getting my ribbon attached. I wanted to give you a few tips to make it a little easier and how to get it very even between both sides as you move around your part. Now for spacing, I'm using these little pink clips that I got for Dollar Tree. Once I get it on there, I place the clip, take my next one, then that clip gives me my spacing. And I can place my next one. I move the clip to the opposite side. And it'll help hold it in the correct direction as that glue dries. Now once you get those all attached, when you turn it over, you'll be able to see the bar. So once the glue is fully dried, that's why you want to wait. Then you pull it through so that you can see it all the way around and it covers this bar. Doesn't that look pretty? Now to get it even on both sides, what I did was I started here at the tip, and then I put 3 or 4 on this side, and then put 3 or 4 on this side. So as I work up, I'm adding the same amount of ribbon on both sides. That way when I turn it over, it'll be very even all the way around with the ribbon. I have all my red ribbon attached and pulled forward. Now this ribbon is nice on one side and the back side is not so nice, so I did have to go through and adjust. Just kind of open, spread it out. If you have anything that's showing that you don't like, just go in, bend your ribbon, push it to the back until you get it the way that you like it. And I think that looks really pretty, and I really love that velvety look. It screams Valentine's Day. I'm going to add another row of ribbon, and I picked this up, I think it was 2 years ago at Dollar Tree. I absolutely fell in love, so I bought like 12 rolls of this. I'm down to my last 3 rolls, so I want to add this because it has the same perfect, that really bright red and white, which will go gorgeous with this wreath. I have 1 roll already cut. You want to go ahead and cut them the same way that you cut the red, 6 inches, and dovetail your ends. And this is what the back of the wreath looks like so far. So for these, now I'm lucky with this ribbon because it has, this is its nice side and that's its not so nice side, and they're very similar. This is just slightly faded from this. So this is a perfect choice for this. So you're going to want to kind of scrunch it again in the center. And then you're going to fold it underneath that bar. So now you're going to work on this outside bar. So you fold your ribbon around like that, kind of scrunch it in the middle, and you're going to fold it over. And I'm going to start right here at the tip. Take a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to place it right there on the tip. Scrunch and pull my ribbon over and pull it down. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the red ribbon. You start at the tip. I'll add about 3 or 4 on this side, and then I'll add 3 or 4 on this side. And then I'll keep doing that as I work my way around. I'm not going to be adding as many ribbons as I did with the red with this, because this is only going to show that little bit around the edge. Plus I can go in once that glue is dried and kind of open this ribbon a little bit more to take up more space. So I will be spacing them a little bit further apart than I did with these. I wanted the center very compact and thick, so that's why I used as many as I did. So that is up to you, how thick you want your ribbon. So again, go ahead, find your center. I'm going to scrunch it in the center. Feed it one end underneath the bar and pull it forward. Pull both ends together so they're relatively even. Scrunch it at the base. Open it up and then add some hot glue. Scrunch it and pull forward. I have all of my ribbon in. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. If you look on the back still looks nice and clean. I really love that color combination of the reds and the white and the velvet. Very, very pretty. Now it took me 3 rolls of the Dollar Tree Deco Mesh. So you'll need 3 rolls for the inner ring and 3 rolls for the outer ring, whichever 2 you choose. Now here on the back, I'm going to add a pipe cleaner to hang it. And on heart-shaped wreaths, it's best to hang it from the top of each of the arches. So slide it in underneath. Pull it up, give it a good twist to attach on this side. And then you want to go in the same section on the other side. So that way, that's how you'll hang it. And then it's easy to adjust to make sure that you get it to hang straight. Now to finish off this wreath, I'm going to use one of these cute little ornaments. They come in a package of 6. And I'm going to go with the soft heart. Now they have a shiny heart, they have soft heart, and they have glitter. You can choose whichever one you like. So to attach this, I'm just going to use the hanging string that it came with. And I'm going to glue that to the back. I want this to hang down, about an inch, ½ inch to an inch. So just lay down some hot glue and put that string right into it. Just like that. Now I had a piece of 12-inch ribbon left over of the outside ribbon. So I made a simple bow. I just pinched in the center, made a small loop on either side, tied it with a pipe cleaner, and then just cut the little tails. I think that is absolutely adorable. I'm going to attach that right here. You're also going to need one of these toothpicks with a heart on the end. I thought these were so cute. I found them in the Valentine section at Dollar Tree. And you'll want one of the red ones. Now all you have to do is kind of twist back and forth and go in circles, and the toothpick will come out. Because all you want is that cute little red heart, and I'm going to glue that right in the center of my bow to cover up that pipe cleaner. And there you go, we are all done. I'm really happy with how this turned out. To get started, I'm going to be painting some of these DIY wood Valentine's Day stickers that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I have several of these, which are the large pink hearts. I have 4 of them. You'll want to remove the sticker off of the back. Then I'm going to take each of the hearts and I'm going to give them a coat of silver paint. I'm using Folk Art enamels in sterling silver. And then I'm going to sprinkle some silver glitter over the top. The sign that I'm using has silver hearts on it. So I wanted to add some to the wreath. Has one up here and one down near the bottom. Okay, you can see it's going to take more than one coat. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my hearts painted silver and then get them glittered. You're going to need a 14-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree. This just happens to be a silver one, but yours doesn't have to be silver. It just happens to be the one I grabbed. Then you're going to need 3 packages of the dark blue, 3 packages of the white, and 3 packages of the light blue deco mesh from Dollar Tree. And you're also going to need a package of pipe cleaners. I have my pipe cleaners cut in half. Now when I do a method like this, this is called a poof or bubble method. I've seen it called either way. Now normally when you see this method done, it is done with a 10-inch or 21-inch mesh. I figured out how to do it this way because I use Dollar Tree mesh as much as I can. And this method works really well with the Dollar Tree mesh because you do not cut the mesh, so you don't have any fraying. You know, with Dollar Tree, sometimes you get a little bit of looseness through the sides. You might get that, but you're not going to get any fraying throughout the mesh. Okay, so you want to go ahead and grab one end of each roll of mesh. Now, when I do these types of methods, I usually put one roll out on each side of my body when I'm doing 2 colors. And if I'm doing 3, I leave one on my table. So then you take the ends of each of the rolls and you scrunch them together. Now when you're scrunching these together, you want them side by side. You don't want to layer them. And the reasoning for that is it makes it harder for you to separate them when you go through and fluff out your wreath. Okay, so get all your ends together nice and tight. Then you want to take one of the pipe cleaners, wrap it around. I usually fold it down so I can get a good grip. Then pinch right at that base and twist. Now you want to make sure you twist that down nice and tight. You don't want it to come loose. You don't want your wreath to come unraveled. Okay? Then you want to take that and you want to feed it down through the top and then attach those ends to the 2 bars in the middle where a crossbar is. I just pull it up, give it a twist with those pipe cleaners, and then I take the pipe cleaners and just kind of push them back down to the back. Okay. You can see I'm attached right here on the crossbar. I had one on this side and one on this side, so it's nice and secure, and all 3 colors are together. Okay, then you're going to need a ruler or something to measure with. Okay, so then you want to go ahead and take a hold of the base, and then you want to pull out and measure at 8 inches from the base to the end. Once you get there, you want to pinch at 8 inches. Take your pipe cleaner, wrap it around there, pull tight, and give it a twist. Okay, and then you're going to take those ends and attach it to the 2 bars in the middle. So you pull the pipe cleaner to the back and give it a twist. Pull the ends together and then I push them forward. Once you get the wreath done, you will not see the pipe cleaners pushed forward, and this will help you keep the back nice and clean, and we will trim the ends when we get done getting this around. Okay? So then you're just going to go ahead and do that again. Grab all three together. Measure at 8 inches. Pinch. Wrap your pipe cleaner around, get it secure. Now, I like this method because once you get it down, it moves rather quickly. And these first 3 rolls should do 2 full sections on this wreath. So for the whole wreath, you will need a total of 9 rolls because we're doing 3 colors. If you were only doing 2 colors, you would only need 6 rolls. Or 1 color, 6 rolls is sufficient. And then push forward. Okay, once you get a section done, and a section is between the 2 crossbars, then you can go back and fluff out your mesh. You want to pull them apart and then open them up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get the first 2 sections done, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So I got 2 sections done, and I went ahead and fluffed out my wreath. I think it looks so pretty. It's all nice and full. This is what the back looks like. Now in each section, I did 10 poofs, and that has made it nice and thick and full. Now when you go to fluff out your wreath, what you'll want to do is you want to pull apart each of the poofs. And then on the next row, you just want to change how you pull them out. So on this first one, the white is on the outside, the light blue in the middle, and the dark blue is on the inside. Then the next one, the dark blue is on the outside, the white is in the middle, and the light blue is on the outside. And then on the next one, light blue, dark blue, white. So you just want to rotate your colors. That way you get a really nice mixture throughout the wreath. Okay, and that was just the first 3 rolls, finished the 2 sections perfectly. I had virtually nothing left of the light blue and the white, but I did have a little bit more left of the dark blue. And I find this happens a lot when you do this type of method. When you get to the end like this, you want to cut all 3. It'll make it much easier and you'll have less ends to work with. But 3 rolls should cover 2 sections of the wreath. On my hearts, I put 2 coats of paint down. I let it dry in between each coat. And then I put a 3rd coat on. And when I was finished putting the 3rd coat on, I covered them in the silver glitter. Then I shook off any extra, and I'm letting them dry. To make sure that this silver glitter doesn't come off, I'm also spraying the top with this Pro Max multi-purpose spray glue. And this says it's extra strength, acid free, and it dries clear. And I picked this up at Dollar Tree. Shake the can real good. Make sure you're about 7 to 10 inches away and do light squirts. And it looks white when it first goes on, so you know you got it on there. And then you want to let it dry completely, and then that'll make sure that that glitter doesn't come off when you attach it to your wreath. I have the base all done. I'm really happy with it. I went through and took the time and fluffed it out. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. And I did in the back trim down the ends where I started and stopped the rolls. That looks nice and clean. You're also going to need one of these signs that I picked up from Dollar Tree. Now I really like the fact that this is done in your non-traditional colors, but I don't like that it's real wavy. So here on the back, I'm going to use some small craft sticks. And right where the blue ribbon is, I'm going to glue them, small pieces, so that it does not wave on me. So just take your craft stick and cut some small pieces. Run a little bit of hot glue. Straighten it out and then lay it right over where the ribbon is. Okay, so I went ahead and glued down the craft sticks. They're nice and dry. And then I went ahead and attached 3 pipe cleaners and also ran some floral wire here through the top and left some long ends. Now I'm going to attach it in these 4 areas. Now I like mine to sit right up on top of my wreath. I like that best. So I'm just going to find my position of where I like it, and then I'm going to feed the pipe cleaners and the floral wire through the deco mesh until I get down to the wire frame in the back, and then I'm just going to attach it to the wire frame. When you initially tighten this down, you don't want to tighten it too tight in case you need to adjust it. So just do 1 or 2 twists and then go on to the next one until you know you have it positioned exactly where you want it. We're going to make our ribbon bundles now. I picked up this really pretty silver kind of mesh looking ribbon. I got this from Dollar Tree and it came from the Christmas section. And then I have this really pretty blue glittered ribbon. I believe this also came from the Christmas section. This one is 5/8 of an inch and this one is 2.5 inches. And then I also found this silver ribbon, and this was over in the wedding section. And this one is 1.5 inches in width. You're going to want to cut your ribbon at 9 inches. And then on the mesh ribbon, I'm going to cut a very small dovetail, just like that, on either end. With this ribbon, I don't want to do a really deep dovetail. I don't want it to unravel too much. And then I'm going to do a dovetail here on the silver as well. And on my small ribbon, I just like to cut the ends at an angle. You'll need half a pipe cleaner. So I'm going to layer it with the silver mesh, and then the silver, and then the blue. And find the center. Put in your pipe cleaner. Scrunch those ribbons together and pull that pipe cleaner to the back. I like to kind of fold over my ribbon. This makes it much easier. Then I pinch right at that base and twist. And this is what your ribbon bundles will look like. And you will need 6. I got all my ribbon bundles done. Go ahead and push those aside. Now we're going to go ahead and make a bow. And I'm going to make a stacked bow, so I'm going to start with my largest ribbon. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to decide how big of a bow you want. Now I've just cut a piece, I fold it over. You need to make sure that it crosses itself by about 1 inch in the back. And then I have another piece, and I'm going to place that on the back right in the middle. That's going to be some tails. Okay. You can just kind of clip that together or hold it in your hand. Then you're going to take your next ribbon, which is the silver here. You're going to do basically the same thing. Figure out how big you want your bow. Now it's going to go on top of the other one, so you want it a little smaller. And then you want a piece again for the tails. So again, fold it over, make sure it covers itself by about an inch. Get that right in the middle. On the back where the fold is, add the extra piece. Put that on top. Again, clamp it. And we're going to do the same thing with the blue. And lay that on top. Okay, so we have all 3 ribbons. You want to take a full pipe cleaner. You're going to wrap that around the center. So place it in the center and then take one side and scrunch it in. Wrap the pipe cleaner around and then do the other side. Get that pipe cleaner nice and tight in the back. And twist. Okay, you want to leave those long. That's what you're going to use to attach it to the wreath. And then you can go ahead and fluff out your bow. I'm going to go ahead and dovetail my ends. And then again on the little blue ribbon, I just cut mine at an angle. Once you get your bow the way you like it, go ahead and set that aside. Now we're going to go ahead and add our bow and our ribbon bundles. I want to put my bow right up here on the top. Now to get that on there, you just simply take those pipe cleaners, you spread apart the deco mesh and get down to where the frame is, and you attach it to the frame. And there's the bow. I'm going to go ahead and add in my ribbon bundles, and you add them the same way. I have all of my ribbon bundles in. I'm really happy. So I have my main bow, and then I have my 6 ribbon bundles. Add the finishing touches to the wreath, which are these little glittered hearts that we did in the beginning. And then I also have this stem, and it is just called a bouquet, and they're white little styrofoam hearts. They have a little bit of gypso. I'm going to add some of the hearts. And then I also have these dark blue glittered berries. I'm going to add some of these as well. And I'm simply going to cut them, leave about an inch. And you add hot glue and then feed it into the wreath. And I'm simply going to be hot gluing the hearts on as well. Okay, and we're all done. I did go ahead and use 2 bundles of the heart bouquets. And then I had these glitter berries left over from when I had done a 4th of July arrangement. So I reused those. And then I just glued in the glittered hearts and the little bit of the gypso that came with the heart bouquets. I am so happy with how my blue Valentine turned out. To get started on this project, you're going to need a couple sticks. Now we just went out and trimmed some of our trees, so I pulled this from what we had trimmed off our trees. You're looking for something that's relatively straight. You'll need 2 to 3 sticks. These are each about half an inch in width, and they need to be approximately 16 to 18 inches in length. You're also going to need some jute cord. Line up your sticks, and then I'd say probably about an inch, maybe an inch and a half in, you want to start to wrap the end. Keep a piece out so that you can tie it, and then just go several times around. Just kind of go on either side of the little piece I left out. You need to keep this long enough because you're going to use that to tie it. Once you have enough on there that you're happy, and you'll pull it up to the top, and you want to tie that off with the piece you left out. Then you need to decide how long you want that to hang, because this is what you're going to use to hang it when we're finished. Go to the other side and then do the same thing and wrap the other end. Okay, once you have your knot down, take a small amount of hot glue on the back side, lay it down, and then pull the end down into the hot glue so it stays down. And if it's too long, just trim off the end. Okay, my hanging string is secure. I'm very happy with that. Now I want to add some florals to this, but this is kind of hard to glue onto. So I'm actually going to glue my florals onto this. Now this is one of the giant craft sticks that you can get from Walmart. I just cut the ends off. This is approximately 6.5 inches in length. So I'm going to attach all my florals onto this, and then once I get it the way that I like it, then I can attach it to my 2 sticks. Okay, so go ahead and set that aside. So for my florals, I picked out a couple of roses here. Now I couldn't find any red roses that were nice and small, but I did find this really pretty dark pink, and then I found this really pretty light pink, so I'm going to mix the two. And then I want a little bit of white flowers, and these are called wild flowers, so I'm going to add those as well. And I want to add a little bit of greenery, so I picked out 2 different ferns. This is the new fern that you can get at Dollar Tree. It comes in a package with 4 stems. And then I also picked this up at Dollar Tree in their floral department. And they also have their regular Boston fern, which looks just like that. So you can use either, whichever you prefer. So to prepare my roses, I always push the leaves all the way up and then trim right below them. Now because I want this to lay pretty flat, I'm going to pull that off. Now the leaves have this little bit of plastic. You can just pull that right off. And then you want to trim down the back of your rose. And then you're going to take your leaves and put them back over your stem so that they're right on the back. This will make it lay flatter, and then you can really see the leaves as well. And I just put a little dot of hot glue there to hold those leaves on. So I decided I'm just going to use one of the dark pink and use the 3 roses. And I'm going to use this as the greenery in my background. So I'm just going to trim some of the leaves off. 1 stem will be sufficient. I'm going to start with my dark pink. I want that right in the center. So I'm using my Surebonder glue pot for the first time today. I was really excited to get this. So just kind of fold up, and then you just want to slightly dip. Let any excess glue drain off. And then place your piece directly in the center. You need to hold it for a minute or 2 until that glue sets up so it stays standing. I think that looks really pretty. And now I'm going to glue a pink rose on either side. And I'm going to leave a little space because I still have some other flowers I want to use to fill in. Okay, and then I'm going to place some more greenery. And whatever I placed, like this, I placed on this side, so this one I'm going to place on this side. Just dip those in, and then tuck it in underneath the rose. I have my 3 roses glued down. I'm really happy with that so far. And I trimmed off the other 3 leaves. I'm going to be adding these. And then I'm also going to add some of this greenery. Now this I got all out of this cute little greenery pot that I found. So I've cut a couple pieces out of that. They're really nice. They just kind of pull off the main stem, so it makes it easy to use. As you're placing your greenery, you want to keep things relatively even. So if you put one on this side, put one on the other side. They don't have to be in the exact same position, but you need to keep it relatively even. Now I'm happy with the greenery. Now I'm going to go in and add some of these really pretty little white flowers. I left a short stem on them. Now I also have this, which I think is really pretty. It's actually called fall grass, but I like the light colored leaves and the pink blooms on the end. I'm going to cut a few pieces off of this to add. Now you can use whatever florals that you have. You can do all small blooms, you can do a mixture, you can do whatever you like, and you can make it whatever colors suit your home. This craft can easily be made for any time of year or season or holiday, all depending on what you add to it. I think that looks very pretty. I'm really happy with that, but I think it needs a little bit of red. So I pulled this out of my stash. This is actually called Baby's Breath, but I really like it. You get several little blooms on a stem here. Two little blooms, and this one has 3. So I'm going to cut a couple of these and add them in. I am very pleased with how my florals turned out. I have everything glued onto this, so I'm very happy. But before I attach this to my sticks, I want to finish adding my other adornments to this. So go ahead and set your florals aside. You're going to need 3 different ribbons from Dollar Tree or wherever you would like to get them. The 3 that I chose is this one. It has a burlap background and a red print. It says, "I picked you." I'm also going to use this one, the red and white check. And then the last one that I chose is this one. And this has a burlap background and the glittered red hearts. I am cutting my strips at about 22 inches, and you will need 4 of each. So you will need 1 full roll of each of the 3 ribbons that you've chosen. To make the ribbon bundles, you will need 1 of each of the ribbons. Just pull all the ribbons together so that you can find the center. Then you'll need half a pipe cleaner, and I'm using black. I think that will blend in the best with the dark sticks. Just do one side at a time. Pull all the ends together. And on small ribbon like this, I usually like to just cut it at an angle. So that's what your ribbon bundle should look like, and you need to make 4. You're also going to need a package of these cute little felt hearts that I picked up from Michael's. They are by Ashland. They are called Valentine's Day Table Scatter, and it was $4.99. You get 3 large and then several small. They come in red, white, and pink. Now the large ones are absolutely adorable. This one says XOXO. This one says I love you. And this one says be mine. And then they also have several small ones, and the small ones don't have any writing, but you have red, white, and pink. So the first thing you want to do is decide how you want to hang these. So since I have one white one, I want that right in the middle. And then I'll put the larger one over there and the other one here. So they hang kind of at a diagonal. And then I'm going to go pink and white. Okay, so that is how I'm going to hang them. And then I'm going to take the ribbon strips. One's going to go here. One will go here, here, and here. So that is how it will all hang out. Now to get these attached and onto our sticks here, I'm just going to be using some jute cord. You need to figure out how long you want it to hang. Then you need to leave some to tie on. Then I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm going to glue my small heart. That's going to be my bottom one on the very end. Once you get that one down, then you decide where you want the next one. Just be careful if your glue hasn't fully set up. Now on the next one, I'm going to glue the string all the way down on the back. Then I'll do the same with the large heart. I have all my hearts glued onto the jute cord. I'm really happy, and I lined them up so I can get them relatively even. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to start to attach these to my sticks up here. I'm going to start with the one in the center. You want to place your flowers because you want to make sure that it's hanging low enough that you'll be able to see it. I think that looks good. I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue right there in the center and lay a little line down. And lay my jute cord in that. Happy with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is here at the top, I'm going to take some more of this jute cord, and I'm going to wrap it around a couple times and then get it glued down to make sure that these are nice and secure. Add a little hot glue and lay your ends down. So it looks nice and finished, just like that. I'm going to do that to the rest of my hearts. Got everything wrapped for the hearts, and now I'm adding my ribbon. Now for these two on either side of the center, I just wrapped around the sticks, pulled it to the back and twisted it off. Now the two on the outside are too far out, so they would show, and I don't want that. So I twisted it down, left about a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to hot glue that to the back. And I'm going to hot glue it right here on the outside of where I attached the hanger. Now that we have everything attached, it's time to add our florals. And I'm going to place that right in the middle up at the top there. So add a couple good dollops of hot glue. And then get your florals placed. And there you go, we are all done. I'm really happy with how this craft turned out. I tried something new and I'm very pleased. Then you're going to need several packages of the Dollar Tree white deco mesh and several packages of the red deco mesh. And I believe this is the only item that doesn't come from the Dollar Tree. So you only need one of these. Then you're going to need one of the 14-inch wire wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. You do not want to use their 18-inch because that'll be too large. So you want to make sure you get the 14-inch wreath form. And then you're also going to need one of the love signs. Now I'm going to be using this one because I want to use this ribbon. If you choose, you can use this love sign, but if you use this love sign, I would use this dark ribbon. Only because if you use this ribbon, it'll blend in so much with the sign that it won't stand out. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is to cut your wreath form in half. And when you do cut it in half, you want to make sure that one end has the bar and one end will have the loose wires. Okay? And then we're going to attach those to the back. And we want them to be kind of in an S shape, like this. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to attach this. You want to lay the wire down onto the board, and you want to come in about 1 inch. You want to keep it within the length of the board, okay? And you want the end with the bar. You want one end here and one end at the bottom so that the cut pieces are in the middle. That way when you lay it on your door or wall, it'll hang properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide where I want to lay this down, which is here. I want to make a mark where this bar that's lifted up is. And same thing over here where the second bar that's lifted up is. Okay, because that's where I'm going to attach pipe cleaner. Now I went ahead and cut my pipe cleaner in half. Now I'm just going to lay down a big glob of glue over it so that it gets secure. This is just going to help me to secure the frame to the board. Now while you're gluing this onto the back, it's very important that you take your time and you allow the glue to dry thoroughly at each stage. That way you won't have any issues. If you try to rush it, you can end up having issues where it detaches and it comes apart when you're working on it. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around while that's drying. I'm going to go ahead and mark this side so I can get the ones for this side glued down as well. As you can see, the glue is nice and dry. It's very sturdy. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and attach these. That way it'll hold it in place while you finish gluing it down. Now as you can see, these two bars are laying flat, this bar is laying flat. So the ones that are laying flat and already on the board, on the ends, go ahead and put a nice big glob of glue. Also put a nice glob of glue over that pipe cleaner's ends to make sure it doesn't come apart on you. You can also hit a little bit of glue on the sharp ends where you cut the wire frame. That'll just help protect you. If you grab it, you don't scratch yourself. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and we're going to let this dry nice and thoroughly before we start to attach anything. Then I'm going to cut my mesh at 8 inches. You will need 18 to 20 bundles of each color, and there are 2 rolls per bundle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my mesh at 8 inches. Now it's nice when you cut 2 at a time because that would be 1 bundle. So that way you can count out as you go how many you need to cut. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my mesh and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my mesh cut. I'm going to show you how to make the little bundles. It's very simple. You just take your mesh and you roll it up. Stick it between my 2 fingers. We're just going to put 2 rolls per bundle and 2 rolls of the same color. Put them together. I have my pipe cleaners cut in half. Just wrap it around the middle there. Pull it nice and tight. Give it a twist. You have a nice little bundle. I'll do that again for you. Okay, so we're going to start attaching our bundles onto our wreath form. Everything is nice and dry. Everything is very secure. Just go through and remove any excess glue strings that are hanging out. Okay, now you have a nice solid base to work with. Okay, when you attach your bundles, you're going to attach them to the 2 bars that are in the middle. Okay? So you just take your first bundle, wrap it around those first 2 bars. Pull it nice and snug and give it a twist. And then I just tuck my ends down so that they're not sticking up. Okay. Nice and secure. You don't need to worry about the pipe cleaners. Once you start getting this filled in and you have a bunch in there, you won't even see the pipe cleaners. So don't worry that they don't match. And then you're just going to alternate colors. Do the white, the beige, and then the red. And then as you're adding, you just want to make sure that you keep everything nice and snug so you keep it nice and full. You can see it's nice and full. So you just keep going and alternate throughout all the way till you get around. Now each section will take 8 to 10 bundles. I've applied all of my mesh. I think it came out really nice. Now when you're putting your bundles together, you'll notice that the deco mesh, especially the deco mesh from the Dollar Tree, does tend to fray. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and do your bundles and get your bundles attached. Once you get everything on, right now is the time you can go back and clean them up. I just take my scissors and I go through and I snip anything that's sticking out too much or that looks funny to me. Okay, so I was playing around. My original plan was just to do 2 big bows, one on either side, but I decided I really don't like that. So I decided I'm going to go with the regular ribbon bundles. So I've gone ahead and I've cut the ribbon at 9 inches, and I'm using this one, which is the 2.5-inch wired ribbon. And then I'm using 2 of the small, which the burlap with the glitter gold and then just a shiny red. I wanted to show you how I was doing the bundles. Just lay the shiny red and then the burlap over the top. Go ahead and pinch it right in the middle. And wrap your pipe cleaner around it. Fold it in half so it's nice and tight and give it a twist. Now you'll want to make 12 ribbon bundles. So I've gone ahead and done my other bundles and I've already placed them in with the mesh. Now what I did was I did the center. So this one I attached on the 2 bars in the center. Then I went to the inside. So this one is attached to the 2 bars on the inside. And then I go to the outside, 2 bars on the outside, and then back to the middle. And then the inside, and then the outside. So the final one I have to put on here is near the outside. So I'm just going to go ahead and separate where I want to place it. And then I'm feeding it through the bottom 2 bars. Just pull it tight and twist. Go ahead and tuck your ends. Are these glittery red hearts on a stick. I do want them to kind of stick out a little bit, so I'm going to leave some of the stick, but I'm not going to leave it that long. Use my wire cutters. So I went ahead and left it, about 3 inches. And then all you have to do is go ahead and add a little bit of glue on the bottom. Decide where you want it and go ahead and feed it in. I like it much better like that, sticking out rather than glued directly to the deco mesh. Okay, so I have 2 packages of these, and there are 7 in each package. I figure I will probably use 4 or 5 on each side. But I'm going to go ahead and glue those in. I have all my glitter heart sticks in. I love them. I think they look great. Now the last thing that I'm going to add are some of the Valentine's DIY wood stickers. And I'm going to be applying the glitter hearts. Now the packages come with 2 sizes. I believe you only get 1 large red heart and you get a couple small hearts. So you're going to need 2 packages because I need 2 of large red. And they do have a little sticker on the back. They don't hold very well. So I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue. I want one up here in this top corner, one of the large ones. And then I'm going to put the other large one down here in this corner. And then I have 2 smaller ones. I'm going to place those inside the sign. Okay, there you go. For today's project, you're going to need one of these Dollar Tree heart wreath forms. You're also going to need some deco mesh from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using this one that I got from the Valentine's Day section. It has a pink background and then it has red metallic strips in it. And I picked up 8 rolls. I'm not sure if I'm going to need all 8. I will let you know when I'm done applying the base. So this is what we're going to use. You're also going to need some pipe cleaners. And these I have cut into thirds, so they're each about 4 inches in length. You can use red or white or whatever color you have. You will also need a ruler or something to measure your mesh with. We're going to be working with 2 rolls at the same time. This is my favorite method for using Dollar Tree deco mesh. This is called the poof or bubble method. You just want to scrunch together the end of each of the 2 rolls and you bring them together. Secure it with your pipe cleaner. I always like to fold it over so I can get a really good grip and get my pipe cleaner nice and tight. Give it a couple twists. So that's what your end should look like. And then we're going to start it right here at the crossbar on your wreath. So just put your pipe cleaner on either side. Give it one good twist. And then you want to pull those ends to the back. And then pull them back through those pipe cleaners and then twist it down a couple times. This just makes that end nice and secure. We don't want it to come undone while we're working on our wreath. And I just take my ends and I push them forward. My ends on my pipe cleaner. These ends here you can trim. You want to leave about 1 inch because you don't want them to pull back through. Now when I'm working with 2 rolls of deco mesh, I like to put one out on either side of my body so that while I'm working with them, they do not tangle. If you have any wild pieces sticking out, go ahead and trim those off. Then you want to grab both of your deco mesh and pull. This is where we're going to measure. You want to start to measure from where you attached it here to your wreath form. And I want this to be a pretty compact base, so I'm only going to measure to 6 inches and then I'm going to pinch. Place your pipe cleaner, wrap it around, pull it to the back and give it a nice twist. And then you're going to take that and attach it to the bar here in the center. Pull your pipe cleaners to the back, give another twist or 2. And then you can go ahead and just push those forward. Now once you get all of your poofs in and you get them separated, you will not see those. but yet by doing that, it will keep the back of your wreath looking clean. And then you just continue to do that until you fill up each of your sections. Now on this heart wreath, each section is a different size, so I can't tell you you need this many poofs in each section. So you just need to put in however many you feel you need to fill up that section. It doesn't have to be completely compact, because once you open up all your poofs, it will fill out. But you do want enough that it's nice and full and that you do not see the wire wreath form in the back. I'm going to go ahead and get a section or two done, and then I will come back and I will show you what it's looking like. I have finished my first 2 rolls, and it's covered 2 full sections, 2 of the larger sections. So I started here at the crossbar. I completed this section and this one large section, and then half of this small section here. So that's pretty good for just 2 rolls. I did go ahead and fluff it out, and as you can see, it's nice and full, and it's very compact. The smaller that you do your poofs, the more compact it will be. If you want it a little larger, you can increase the size of your poofs, but then they won't be quite so compact. And as you can see, by pushing your pipe cleaners forward, it keeps the back looking nice and clean. Now you want to start and stop your rolls the same way that I showed you in the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and continue and get my base finished, and then we'll come back and we can move forward. There you go. I have all my mesh on. Now I've been sitting here looking at the shape, and it does still look like a heart, but I think I can improve this. If you turn it over, you can see I applied everything to that center bar. When I got down here, once I filled this in, now this one section here, I did with just 1 roll. The rest of the heart was done with 4 rolls, 2 rolls at a time, but down here I didn't need the 2 rolls. I just used 1 to fill in this little corner. And then I pulled 1 down long and attached it right here at the point. So that way I get a really strong point in the front. Now I want to do the same thing right here where the heart curves, because I want this out a little further. So here on the back, I'm going to start right here where the 2 bars meet, and I'm going to add some extra loops right around the curve here on both sides. That'll accentuate the heart. That'll make this come down further and this area come out. Now on my 5th roll, I still have plenty of deco mesh left, so I'm going to be using the rest of this roll. And you do it the same way, just scrunch the ends together and attach it with your pipe cleaner. And then instead of doing 2 rolls at once, you're just going to do 1. And you can measure your loops the same or slightly larger. I'm probably going to do mine the same because I want to keep it compact. But this will still add a little bit more fullness around those curves. So here I'm going to attach it to this crossbar. Same thing, push those ends to the back and pull them back through. Tighten them down and then trim. Measure out your 6 inches. And then you're going to apply it here to this top bar. Now you'll want to add however many loops you feel you need to add a little bit more fullness to that area. And then again, push those up front. I'm going to add my final loops around the curves of my heart, and then I'll come back and show you what the base looks like. Okay, my base is all done. I did go ahead and I added about 6 or 7 additional poofs around each of my areas here to give it a little bit more definition. And then you can just kind of play with it to reshape it. But now I have more of an indentation and I think it looks more like a heart. So I'm really happy with that. Go ahead and set this aside. For our sign, I'm going to be using this galvanized sign that I got from Dollar Tree. This one says Kisses. They have a couple different ones to choose from. You can use whichever one you like. These are new this year. I'm really happy that they came out with them. And they already have holes in them for you to attach them. I'm going to be using the floral wire. I get this also from Dollar Tree. I really like this. I prefer the silver because silver you can use on pretty much any color. It just kind of disappears and blends in. So you'll need to cut 2 pieces at about 10 to 12 inches a piece. Get it through the hole. Pull them together so you can find the center. And you want to pull one over the top and give it a good twist. And these are what you're going to use to attach it to your wreath. So now I'm going to place this in the center here, but I want it to be slightly angled so that it kind of comes up. I like that. Now to attach that, I'm just going to take the floral wire, feed it in through the deco mesh, and wrap it around the metal base in the back and tie it off. I have my sign attached. I'm really happy. I did go ahead and attach it down here as well because it kept kind of flipping up. So I just ran it through with the wire and attached it. Now it's laying just the way that I want it to. I'm really happy with that. You can set this aside. Now we're going to work on our ribbon. Now I found this really pretty velvet ribbon from Dollar Tree. You only get 1 yard. So this is what you get in a roll. You'll want to fold it exactly in half and cut it. Then you'll want to take 1 piece, fold it over, fold the other end over. You want it to come across itself by at least 1 inch. You find the center, like that. Take the other piece, find your center. Take that, put that in the back, right in the middle. Make sure that all the fuzzy side is facing up. And then in the center here, grab, and you want to do almost like a pleat. Pinch that and then do it on the other side. Pinch right in the middle so it looks like that. Then you'll take a pipe cleaner, wrap it right around the center and pull it to the back. Get it nice and tight and tie off. Your pipe cleaner is what you're going to use to attach it to your wreath. So get right in there near the center, grab and twist to pull your tails down. Make sure that the fuzzy side is facing forward. But you got to get in there close to twist it to change the direction. Okay, you should have a basic bow that looks like that. Now I want to place my bow right up here on this side. So I'm going to attach it here, and I just take my pipe cleaners, feed it through the deco mesh, and attach it to the wire frame in the back. I got my bow on, and you just need to adjust it, open it up, fluff it out, adjust your tails. And I kind of like my tails a little on the longer side on this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and dovetail these. I have my bow attached. I'm really happy with that. I did go ahead and dovetail my ends. I like the bow with the long tails. I think that's super pretty. Now there is one thing I want to add. This is one of the DIY stickers that I picked up from Dollar Tree. This is the large glitter red heart. I'm going to go ahead and glue that right in the middle of my bow. I'm just going to use some hot glue. Now doesn't that look pretty? I absolutely love that on the bow. Now we're going to add some more decorations here to our wreath. I picked this package up of these beautiful little heart ornaments that I got from Dollar Tree. You get 6 pieces. You get 2 shiny, 2 smooth, and 2 glittery. I'm going to be adding these. And then I also found these really pretty glittered red roses. Now these are really well made. They're very thick plastic. They do come with a little clip here on the bottom. So you can use them to attach it this way if you only want them to be temporary, or you can hot glue them on. So I'm going to be adding these to finish off my wreath. And I'm simply going to be hot gluing them in. Here on the flowers, I'm not going to use the clips, but if you want them to be on here only temporarily, then I would use the clips. That way you can take them off and reuse them on something else. Add some hot glue and then just place them into the deco mesh where you like them. And there you go, we are all done. Now I decided to go with just the roses and not the hearts, so I did 2 packages of the roses instead. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it has a very unique look. The materials that you're going to be needing are some white rose petals. I found these in the wedding section in the Dollar Tree. You're also going to need a package of the pink rose petals and a package of the red rose petals. These were both in the Valentine's Day section. And they come with 300 pieces per bag. And then you're going to need one of these felt hearts. You're going to want to try to get the light pink, just so that when you use the white petals on it, that the red would probably show through. So that's why I chose the pink. Now when I lay my petals down on my heart, I want to do it in kind of an ombre effect. And I'm going to start with red on the bottom, pink in the middle, and white on the top. And then as I do the transition in that area, I'm going to mix the 2. So I'm going to start with my red petals. Just going to take a small amount of hot glue. And I want to start right at the point. Now while you're laying down your petals, you want to overlap them, but you also want to make sure that you keep the shape. So start at the very point, and the petals have a pointed end and a round end. You want to hot glue the pointed end down. Start with 1, overlay with 2, then go to 3, etc. And just build as you grow. Now I went ahead to help me and I drew a line where I want to start fading from the red to the pink, and I drew a line where I want to start fading from the pink to the white. I'm at the point where I want to transition. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and every so few pink, I've added another red. I'm going to do that for 2 strips, and then I'm going to go to all pink. Okay? And when I get up here where I want to transition into the white, for 2 rows, I'll do the same thing. I'll put down a couple white, and then I'll sneak in a pink. That way it looks like it kind of fades. So I'm moving right along here. Everything's looking really nice. Now, as you can see through the transition, I went ahead and incorporated some pink down here in the red. And then as I moved into the pink, I incorporated a little bit of the red. And now that I'm moving into the white, I'm doing the same thing with the pink. Now, the one thing that I discovered is that the white petals are much larger than the red or the pink. So now I'm very glad that I decided to put the white on the top. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your colors. Okay, this right here is probably the hardest part to get it so that it still looks right. So I wanted to show you how to do that and how to keep the heart shape. You want to go ahead and bring the petals up to where the little dip is here. And then you're going to change how you start attaching the white petals. Work around this way to get the initial shape outlined. And this is just to give you the outline. You are going to go over it again with another row of petals. So don't worry if it doesn't look quite right. We just want to get our shape covered. So what you're looking at is the shape that comes right here. You want to make sure that you're keeping that as you're laying the petals down and overlap them. When you come back the other way and lay the petals in, that's when you need to be a little bit more cautious. But right now you're just trying to keep the shape. Sorry, my voice is a little off today. My allergies have been bothering me, so I sound a little funny. And now I'm going to go ahead and continue laying my petals in. Again with the points going up. So just make sure as you're laying those petals down that you're keeping the shape. Now I know a lot of people don't necessarily decorate for Valentine's Day or for St. Patty's Day. But I'm one of those strange people. I like to decorate for all holidays. I always have. It helps me work my way through the year as I celebrate each holiday. Looks nice. I think I am going to add a bow right here in the middle, and I'm also going to add a string or a ribbon to hang it from. Okay, I have some of this 1/8 of an inch white ribbon. It's just plain white ribbon. I like to use this when I hang wreaths and stuff. I just take a long piece, fold it over, tie a little knot in the end. Then go ahead and just hot glue it onto the back. I decided I'm going to use this ribbon. I really like it. It has a red background and it has pink and white hearts on it. I think that's perfect. Now the pattern is only on one side on this ribbon. So to do the bow, I'm going to do kind of a pinky bow. Much I want. Want to double it. Okay, so basically I'm just pulling it into like a bow and crossing the two. And then you can use pipe cleaner, a piece of wire, another piece of ribbon, which is what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to tie down the center. Tie it twice so it's nice and tight. And I'm just going to cut off the excess of the white ribbon. Okay, so now I want to just go ahead and glue the ribbon right here. Now it's up to you how you want to cut your ends. You can dovetail them if you like. You can cut them straight across, however you like them. On this, I like the tails left a little long. I think it adds quite a bit to the heart. Okay, there you go. Doesn't that look adorable? I think this ribbon really brings it all together since it has all the same colors in it. Very easy and simple project.